This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
We have developed technology for targeted resequencing of coding regions of the entire genome, and we have used this technology called targeted sequence capture for resequencing entire gene coding regions of wild emmer wheat and domesticated emmer wheat.
The material I'm standing in front of right here, and you can see some darker heads throughout the plot here, is derived from wild relatives of wheat. In this case, it is containing wild alleles on all three genomes of wheat. Wheat is a hexaploid species, so it has 3 full sets of chromosomes, each really originating from an original grass species. And we want to go back into that pool to be able to find new genes to help us develop better wheat varieties for Kansas that have better disease resistance, better drought tolerance, better heat tolerance. And so this is a project that we've been working on for a few years and trying to start to transfer these genes into adapted material. There's already some evidence that there are genes here for drought tolerance. I have a student who's been doing some screening for heat tolerance out of these materials, and there's some that have very good tolerance to high temperatures. When we start talking about dealing with climate change, highly variable climate, having the ability to deal with all these stresses is really important. We know from some previous work at other places that there's some resistance to Fusarium head blight. There's been resistance genes to stripe rust that have been transferred out of the wild emmer. So there are a lot of different things there. We've done some preliminary screening. We've identified some lines that potentially have wheat streak resistance. So there's a lot of different value there, and it really goes beyond just the commercial production side of it. We think there's a lot of potential value there also for consumers. The wild emmers will go up to in excess of 30% protein. So there's high protein. We also know that the wild emmer has about twice, you can find some that have about twice the antioxidant capacity that the domesticated durum has. And the durum wheat is what the domesticated form of emmer is. So we know there's high antioxidant capacity. We know that they accumulate things like iron and zinc at a much higher level. So we can start to talk about nutritionally superior wheat varieties that can come out of this material. So we think that there's real value there, as well as for our consumers, as well as helping to ensure production in an increasingly variable environment.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.